Our gospel text for today is from the Gospel of Matthew chapter 25 verses 14 to 30. In these verses, which is part of Matthew's eschatological discourse, in which Jesus speaks about the things by which we will be judged, he tells here the parable of the talents. And even though our understanding of talents is understood possibly as the qualities that they possess, and we might surely understand it in that manner, a talent at the time of Jesus referred to a large sum of money. So there are three servants whom Jesus speaks about in this parable, and the first of these servants is given 5 talents. 1 talent was equal to 6,000 denarii, so 5 talents would make 30,000 denarii. The denarius was a day's wage for a laborer, and so 30,000 denarii, which is a large sum of money, is given to the first of the servants. The second receives 2 talents, which is 12,000 denarii, and the third receives 1 talent, which is by itself a large sum of money, which is 6,000 denarii. And so each of them, possibly according to their ability, received these sums of money. It is very likely that the one who received the 1 talent may have seen the one with the 2 and may have seen with the one with the 5 and may have been upset. We do not know, but it is very likely, because the one who received 5 went and traded with it, went and utilized it well, went and did what had to be done with it and made 5 more. The one with 2 went and traded with them and made 2 more, but the one who had won the 6,000 denarii hid the money in the ground, because even though 6,000 denarii could have been used to do a number of things, or at least invested in the bank, but he wanted to keep it safe. He wanted to keep it secure, and that is why he hid those 6,000 denarii in the ground. After a long time, this is an indication that the master of those servants gave them sufficient time. The master of those servants did not come back hurriedly. We notice that the one with the 5 talents hurriedly went and traded, the one with the 2 talents hurriedly went and traded, but the master delayed his return in order to give the servants time to do what they had to do, to use all that they had been given to the best of their ability. And after a long time, the master comes back, and then obviously he settles accounts with them. And even as he settles accounts, the one with the 5 talents, the 30,000 denarii, comes and gives the master 60,000 denarii, 5 more talents in return, and the master lets him keep that 60,000 denarii because he has been faithful in a small thing. Because for the master, 30,000 denarii is a small thing. And the one with 12,000 denarii, 2 talents, also comes and says the same. And the master uses the same words to approve him, to commend him. In other words, the master makes no distinction between his praise of the one who made 5 and the one who made 2. The one who had 1 now comes to the master and says to the master that he hid the master's talent in the ground because he was afraid of the master and did not want to lose any money. In other words, he was unafraid. He was afraid, to take risks. He was a person who would rather hide himself in order to protect himself. So the focus is not so much on the master. The focus is not on the taking or not taking of risk. The focus is on self-preservation, is on self-protection. and he gives to the master what the master had given him, which is fair enough in itself. He has not lost any money. He has not been wasteful. He has not, but the master says, what is given to you is not given to you only for selfish reasons. And even if you thought that you had to give it back to me, could you not have invested it in the bank where I would have received it with interest? Today, of course, we can't really talk about investing in banks because banks themselves are so unstable, but that is another story. The point is to use and to utilize what is given to us without comparisons. And so the question is, what are the points that the Lord is making through this parable? The first of these points is this, that each one of us has been given a variety of gifts, a variety of talents, a variety of positives in our mind. And if we realize those positives, if we realize those qualities, then we begin to use them without comparing ourselves. So the point is that we do not compare ourselves. I may have one. It does not matter if you have two or if you have five. I am content with my one and I will use my one to the best of my ability. So the first point is I do not compare my talent with yours or with that of another. Because if I do compare, the second point is there is a danger that I will not even use mine. I will keep on looking at you and your use of your talents, and I will feel jealous, and I will feel envious, and I will feel inferior, and I will feel small, and I will feel insignificant because you have so much and I think I have so little. Comparisons are odious. And so, second, I will not compare with anyone. The third, even if I cannot use it as fully as I think, I use it to the best of my ability. The one with 5 made 5 and was commended. The one with 2 made 2 and was commended in the same manner. So therefore, the production is not as important as the productivity. Production means the amount which I produce. Productivity refers to the quality. In the spiritual exercises, St. Ignatius has a Latin phrase which brings out this meaning very beautifully when he says, non multa sed multum. Non multa means not enormous amount, not keep on heaping prayers, not keep on doing so much. Sed means but, sed multum, but depth, but quality. So not necessarily quantity always, but quality always and even most of the times. And so the question is, I use my talents to the best of my ability, not to the best of your ability or someone else's ability. And that is why in the second reading of today, Paul tells us that none of us knows when the Lord is going to come. Matthew says the master returned after a long time. But the long time, according to Paul, is anybody's guess. And he says, it is not as if you are living in the dark for the day to overtake you like a thief. No, you know that the day will come. The day may be today. The day may be tomorrow. The day may be after 10 years. It does not matter when the day is. What matters is, if I am using what I have been given to the best of my ability, then no matter when the day comes, I will be ready to be taken up by the Lord. And the Lord will say to me, because I have used whatever the Lord has given me to the best of my ability, He will say to me like He said to the one who made the 5 and the 2 talents, well done, good and faithful servant. You have proved yourself faithful in little things. Now you will be in charge of greater things. Amen.